is the 15-year-old Spaniard Daniel Holgado, who is in 5th place in the championship chase. Completing the all-Spanish front row, David Salvador, the 16-year-old. So it's all Spaniards on the front row, but we do have the 16-year-old Indonesian Mario Aji, who lies 15th in the championship, but he qualified 4th, so that's really great to see. Now we're away on the warm-up lap, a second chance for the guys to see just where these damp patches are.
Yeah, and I think...
And that's number 39,
yeah.
That's Barthélemy Perrin, the French, 16-year-old Frenchman. He's getting a push start.
Go.
No, it doesn't want to go, does it? Oh dear, agonising for him, absolutely agonising. Right, so we're away around the first corner and second corner on the warm-up lap. And we've seen before Pedro Acosta on the number 37. He likes to just let the others get ahead a little bit and then really speed up, increase the pace in the final sort of third of the warm-up lap. So he comes to the grid with his brain really at race speed. And that's a sort of an interesting tactic that Pedro Acosta pursues.
Makes sense. Warm up yourself on the warm-up lap in every area, really. And I like his idea of keeping settings the same, because he'll start the race with a familiar bike rather than starting with something that might be right for the driver. The staff have softened things off for all the guys, so some might keep them the same, some might stiffen them up. But I really like that idea of starting the race with a familiar bike, and then he can change things for the next 3 races.
Right, and there you saw Barthélemy Perrin having his bike started from the pit lane, so he's obviously going to start the race in the pit lane. And unfortunately, of course, that means he misses the warm-up lap, and doesn't get to that second look at just what the track looks like.
Yeah, he'll sit in the pit lane there. The riders will go past in the first lap, and 5 seconds after the green light will come on, and then at 5 seconds after that, they'll let him go.
Right, so coming around the big sweeper, the left-hand sweeper, and down to the last tight left onto the start and finish straight. We've not been here with the actual Rookies Cup itself since the first year, 2007. We came back in 2008. But certainly not since then, so it's great to return to Valencia. And we've got 4 races here. So there is the poleman now coming through to take up his position on the front of the grid. As I said, it's Acosta, Holgado, Salvador. In the second row is Aji, David Munoz, Izan Guevara. The third row, Daniel Munoz, Ivan Ortola, Scott Ogden. David Alonso is back on the 5th row. He lies second in the championship at the moment. The lights are on. They're off. And away we go. A good start from Acosta. Already got a good start, but Holgado is there on the 96 from second place. In fact, I think he's taken the lead on the run down to the first corner. He has. They're all got to get a little bit in line, more in line than they normally would on a Rookies Cup because of the damp patches. Super to see them all safely through there, and it is Holgado that has the advantage. But I think that's Salvador up the inside to take the lead from third place on the grid. David Salvador, superb start from him. And Acosta back there into third place, but he won't be worried about that. 64 is David Munoz. He's up into 4th place.
And more than ever, the perfect place to be is in front, because you can get dead on that dry line. From the guys behind trying to pass, they've got to get onto the wet stuff, get alongside the guys, then get back on to the dry line. So perfect position for Salvador getting that whole shot on the first lap.
Yeah, great stuff. And he's a lot happier about things now in these last few races. Certainly yesterday to qualify on the front row than he was in the early half of the season. He's a second-year rookie, but he said he just couldn't make the motorcycle feel comfortable for him in the first half of the season. The feeling that he had, he ended the year with a great win at the end of last season, and in that sort of great feeling he had just evaporated. He just couldn't find it in the early races of the year, but he said it's come back to him. It was good, and Motorland Aragon, and it's really great here, he said. So he's a much happier rider there. There is the number 80. That's David Alonso, lies second in the championship, and he only qualified, as I say, arrive down on the 5th row of the grid, but he's already making his way up through the field, and he really has got to do that, because if he's going to have any chance of challenging Pedro Acosta for this cup. Right, 38 it is from 96, and they're the front row guys crossing the line to complete the first lap. They pulled out a bit of an advantage over the chasing pack already. They get into line astern through just a little bit cautious through that left-hander, so understandably.
Delgado was good there, very positive, knew where he wanted to be on the track. Nice pass into turn 1.
And Acosta up into second place. Salvador's gone from first to third. That chasing pack. It's Adji, Munoz, Ortola, Alonso, Uriart and Philippe Ton up in 9th place. That's really good to see him up there. He had a very good qualifying. He qualified 10th fastest. That probably is his best so far. And you can see the number 80 machine of David Alonso making up ground there as well.
Yeah, very confident there. He is passing. He's confident. Of course, the tyres, as long as they're up to temperature and there's no standing water, there will be grip available. You just have to be careful on the damp patches. But more temperature to get into the tyres, the better. But he's very confident passing there.
Great stuff. So, as you can see where those damp patches still are, but it's Olgado has the advantage over Acosta and Salvador. And although they've got a 1 second advantage over the chasing pack, as we've seen, especially this year in Rookies Cup, that gap can so quickly close, especially if these three in front start mucking each other around. So it's Alonso now who is up into 4th place, heading that pack of Adji and co.
I think Alonso can bridge this gap, because he got through to 4th very quickly, and he's already gapped guys behind him. Behind him there is, I think, Daniel Munoz.
He has, hasn't he? And he did that also in more difficult circumstances. And Motorland Aragon, actually, he managed to close much bigger gaps than that. So he's certainly able to do so. He's obviously put the disappointment of qualifying behind him. And as Acosta takes the lead, Salvador goes inside Olgado. And he goes, oh my goodness gracious me, that was...
Yeah, Pedro Acosta had to let the brakes off a little bit there, because he ended up on the damp patch, had to stand that bike up a little bit. He couldn't commit to that fast left-hander, and unfortunately ran a little bit wide, but he doesn't need things like that to happen. That was a very close moment there, and you can see already, Alonso's in touch, and the way he was passing in these early laps, he's super confident, he's enjoying his bike, he's obviously got good settings in there, no problem with the damp patches.
No, and he hasn't pulled that pack with him too, has he? He's obviously got the pace over those guys, and he's just done it alone and closed in on that leading trio, as Neil says, and he's being super confident at the moment, and another confident man. Anyway, it's Salvador that still holds the advantage over Acosta. Olgado Alonso is right there behind him. Stuff, and they just have a 1.1 second advantage, just over a second advantage over the chasing pack. And now, of course, it's gone from a trio to a quartet, and there's even more chance of them slowing each other down. But the guys behind can't let that gap away. It's actually opened up to 1.8 seconds now, so they have the pace over the guys behind, but they've got to watch those track limits, because number 80, David Alonso, we saw him on the green stuff there, the 14-year-old Colombian, and they've really got to watch out for those track limits. And of course, it's a question we didn't see. Oh, and there's number 64. He's a faller, David Munoz, the 14-year-old Spaniard. He's crawling off the track. Oh, obviously more or less okay. That's sad to see him go down. Yeah,
running in a top 6 position there, so that was too bad. He was good on the opening laps there, 4 abreast ahead into this damp, sketchy corner.
Well, yeah, we saw how close it got on the last lap there on the way out. And was that Olgado on the green stuff as well?
And usual exceeding track limits rules apply 5 times out there, and you will be getting a penalty.
All right. So this quartet, yes, and they've now sort of 2 seconds really. They have almost 2 seconds. But someone who's broken away from that pack behind, and I wonder if they're going to bridge the gap as well. That'll be interesting to see. We're going to have a replay. Oh, that was... Yeah, that was David Munoz, a nasty fall.
I think he was just a little bit tight there and got on the white line, which they do remain slippy, they do remain moist and damp, and I think he was just a little bit tight there. It was a really unusual place to crash.
Most unfortunate for him because he was lying 6th in the championship chase. Started the season with a storming pair of second places and a third at the Red Bull Ring. Things got a bit more varied and he had a couple of crashes and that drifted off to 6th. So his season has sort of rather come apart in the second half. What was a really excellent beginning of the 2020 season for him. And there's the live cup standings. You can see that Acosta has the 45-point advantage. Of course, even after the end of this race, there's still 75 points on. Whoa! And down the 2 of the guys down. One of them is Alonso. 3 guys down. And Acosta's one of those, isn't he?
Acosta was leading the last.
Was it Ricardo? Definitely.
No. It's Salvador.
It's Salvador way ahead, and that has turned things around because that is Acosta down, but so has Alonso gone down. Hopefully they're all right, but it's now so it just shows. And there it's Ricardo. He's got going again. Acosta and Alonso haven't got going again. Ricardo has, and well, it just goes.
Well, there's obviously a damp. That's where Munoz went down on the previous lap. Pedro Acosta's okay there. He's
okay, but Alonso's bike's more badly damaged, I think. I can see the seat smash, but Acosta trying to get going. He's obviously okay, and he's trying to get the bike restarted. And so is obviously Alonso's okay. David Alonso's okay as well, and he's trying to get at least onto the track, but his fairing's dragging on the road, and that's quite badly damaged.
So things hanging off that bike.
Yeah, complete turnaround then. So it's Salvador from Otola, Agi, Uriart, Ton, Ogden, Van Aert, Fire, Guevara, and David Munoz. My goodness
Salvador be totally unaware of this as well, because the 3-bike crash was right behind him. Incredible stuff.
And he just set the fastest lap of the race, but actually Mario Agi was even quicker than him. So the pace is there still, that's for sure. Getting quicker all the time. And I'm sure we will see a replay of that. And Acosta's not going anywhere, is he?
He's definitely out.
He's not going anywhere.
And
David Alonso, we saw, and he's there. He's got something dragging on the tyres, isn't it? Fairing dragging on the belly pump. He's not going to go very far either. Right. So, well, that's 2 of the that's the guys first and second in the cup are out of this race. Wow, my goodness. So. Yeah. David Salvador, and whether he notices that he realises what's happened now, I don't know, but he'll probably see it from his pit signal. But if he takes a look over his shoulder, he'll see that instead of having a pack chasing him, there's the others are a long way back. In fact, it's 3 seconds back they are now. So, catch your breath for a moment. It's David Salvador that leads, and then we have Mario Agi on the number 34 machine. There's a cup leader walking away. Mario Agi is in second place after his great qualifying, obviously, and we'll see a replay.
Through the right and the left, this long hanging left-hander here, and I think there's just, was it Acosta that...
I think it was Salvador, it was David Alonso that went first on the number 80.
Yeah, just early on. Yeah, very early on. That was a lot earlier than the Munoz crash the lap before, and just obviously a damp patch there. They're getting hard on the throttle with quite a lot of lean angle, and it was a bit of a domino effect, unfortunately. Maybe even just clipped that white line, which in normal, perfectly dry, warm conditions is not a problem.
I mean, the paints that they use now are supposed to give good grip, but I mean, good grip isn't the same as total grip, is it?
It does in the dry. It's pretty much up there with the tarmac grip in the dry, but in the wet, it decreases quite a lot. It's best to be safe. You need to be more upright on the paint.
Keep away from it. Okay, and we can see that's David Alonso there. He's talking to rider coach Danny Ribalta and his mechanic helper, and that
did nothing wrong there, really. No. I'm just glad everyone's okay.
But there are still 20 runners, so there's no point in trying to patch that motorcycle up, and he's not going to get any points, obviously, and it's badly damaged, things hanging off it and that. And there comes Acosta. He's on his way back on the scooter. So total disaster for the guys first first and second in the Cup. But very much gone into the hands of David Salvador, and he's had his share of bad luck this year already. As David Salvador, he's I say, he just wasn't happy with the feeling he was getting from his motorcycle in the opening rounds of the year. He was sort of 5th, 16th, 7th, 5th, but he's come strong now, and he's got a really good run. He's still only 7th in the championship chase, but this, of course, will do him a power of good. Great to see. He's a lovely, very likeable guy. There's Pedro Acosta getting commiserations from the HJC Helmets man. He looks after these guys so well.
Yeah, all the protective kit doing a brilliant job there. You can see that was a huge crash for these three riders, as was for Munoz on the lap before, and everyone perfectly okay. And as you said, still 75 points left. Actually, the live cup standings there, it puts Ivan Ortola actually into second, 45 points behind.
And I see that Marcus Uriarte on the 89 machine is up into second place, but he's got a track warning already, and I think that is for going 3 track limits. Yeah. So he's got to really watch out, because 2 more. And is that another faller?
It's not fire, is it?
90. I think it is Colin Fire. Yes, you're right. It's Colin Fire. He's obviously twisted something. He's limping away, but doesn't want any help.
Gone down hard on his left shoulder there. Just got his braking all wrong there. Just another rider pulled over in front of him, and it got hard on the brake. Big stoppy there, so he did well to miss any riders in front. Yeah, and the track limit warnings, it's so easy to do that at turn 1 this time because of the damp patches. The guys are crossing and letting the brakes off, and of course they run wide, but they run onto the green concrete, and I've seen quite a few of the riders, including Salvador. He's been on the green paint a couple of times, and after 3 times, as you said, you'll get a warning. 5 times and you get the long lap penalty. Right,
so then there's confirmation at the bottom of your screen. I mean, I've got another faller. My goodness, that's the 24. That's Ivan Ortola.
Oh, what a shame, because he was just doing so well in the championship.
And he was up into 3rd in the championship.
Yep.
Neil, he'd had that win at Motorland Aragon. He's in fact the last 4 races were 3-3-1-3 after a second in the final race at the Red Bull Ring. So there we go. That's
turn 1. Yeah, that is the classic corner, and so easy for that to happen. You tip in there, you're confident, and then of course just get a little slide. The bike, the tyres grip again, and then you go.
But the interesting thing, I mean, it's sort of sadly interesting, is the fact that actually in the opening laps, when things were at their worst, if you like, the guys managed the situation okay, and it's now, we're at lap 7. It's into the second half of the race where the problems are all coming.
I think they were pretty cautious, they were pretty mature on the opening laps, but then the red mist kicks in, and this is a big bunch. This battle. This is the 884. That's the 6th place. 6th and 7th. So that's a huge bunch, isn't it? Yeah, right. Well, let's have a bit of explanation of it. It's Salvador from Mario Adjian, Marcus Uriarte battling for Philippe Ton up into 4th place. That is by far the best ride that we've ever had from Philippe Ton, the 15-year-old German. He's had a disastrous season, really. He's full of crashes, and his best finish has been a 17th, 18th and 21st. So that is absolutely superb to see him way up there, battling 4th and 5th with Scott Ogden, in fact. So, excellent stuff. And that is the battle for second place between Mario Adji on 34 and Marcus Uriarte, the Spaniard, on 89. And they have and there's a confirmation if you're interested in the cup standings at the moment, that and incredibly, Pedro Acosta still leading, and Alonso 53 points behind him. Because
second and third are out of the race. But anyway, okay, that's 34 is Mario Adji and Marcus Uriarte on the 89, and they are being chased by Scott Ogden and Philippe Ton, 19 and 6. Superb, disaster for some of these guys. Obviously, we're very, very sad about that, but great to see it give these chaps an opportunity to really start. And we don't often see Philippe Ton featured on the TV screen, but he's having a superb battle here at the moment. 5th, chasing the 4th place Scott Ogden. And I wonder if Scott is going quick enough to close down. He's lapping about the same as the guys in front of him, actually. So I don't know whether he can close that gap. Out on his own then, the number 38 of David Salvador, the 16-year-old Spaniard. started the race 7th in the Cup points, but he's doing himself a power of good here. He's just got to keep that concentration going with, as we're told, there's 7 laps to go there on your screen.
Yeah, very much on his own. 4.9 was the gap on the last lap. As he crushes the line again, I'm pretty sure that will increase. But yeah, doing a great job, and like you say, he just needs to stay consistent. He is in the perfect position. He can see the dry lines. These guys battling things out. And great to see Scott Ogden, the Brit, up there in 4th. He had a good ride here last weekend in the Junior World Championship. A couple of seconds off winning races at times. So
and there's exceeding track limits, for Mario Aggi there. Well, it was Marcus Uriarte was warned that Aggi exceeding track limits as well. And Scott did put his fastest lap of the race in on that previous lap, and he wasn't. Oh, and now down goes number 19. That is Scott Ogden. Total disaster. Just saying great things about him, and he's furious with himself, of course. Yeah, that's it, mate. I just looked away from the screen there to see it, checking on his lap times. And
that is how tricky it is. That's how tricky it is, these guys. And the sun's getting quite low as well, which doesn't help things. The guys have got dark visors on and looking for the damp patches, but it's very difficult to pick things out. And Scott obviously just slightly damp. The track's cool. It's past the warmest part of the day. Cooling track and damp conditions, very difficult.
Well, I just got to not curse Philippe Ton there. He's now moved up to 4th place, of course, with Scott's demise, and that will be a sensational finish for the 15-year-old German. As I say, he qualified very, very well. In 10th place, it's not sensational, but for him, it was a very, very good qualifying. So great to see. Oh, and this battle is raging, isn't it, for 2nd and 3rd place? And it's still, I thought that actually Marcus Uriarte had got away from Mario Aggi, but the Indonesian has got back on terms with him. He said he's really enjoyed this weekend. He said he had a really good long lap penalty for Guevara, and he's down in 8th place, so he's in this pack here, and he's going to have the long lap penalty. But Mario Aggi said he had a good time last weekend at the Spanish Championship round here, and he said he could carry, and there's a couple of guys exceeding track limits, including number 7 Daniel Munoz there. But Guevara is on 33, who you can expect to see take a long lap penalty. And that's 89. That's Marcus Uriarte. And what's happened to him? Because he was in that battle for second place.
Yeah, he's second. Looks like he's got a technical problem.
Technical problem, yeah.
So unusual.
And as you say, these KTM RC 250Rs are so reliable, and I don't know whether we didn't see him fall off. I don't think he had time to have fallen off and picked it up again. But another twist in this race. My goodness gracious me. We've got the 38, David Salvador, imperiously out on his own, riding superbly. We don't want to curse him. 5 laps remaining. And there's still the damp patches around to catch people out, aren't there? That's for sure. So Mario Aggi is now on his own in 2nd place. Philippe Ton is in a podium position.
No, and he's got a long lap penalty.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and the number 33, Eisen Guevara, he had a brilliant weekend here last weekend, a winning weekend, fantastic. Made absolutely no mistakes at all, but he's got a long lap penalty.
It'll be interesting because Ton is, he's got, he's 10 seconds in front of Billy Van Aert, so in fact he can do that long lap penalty. That's 83. Guevara's done his long lap penalty. But in fact, Aggi's now got a long lap penalty, the man in 2nd place. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Oh, wow. Well, there's still 4 laps of twists and turns to go. Right. OK, so Aggi, the man in 2nd place, has got a long lap penalty. Mario Aggi. So is Philippe Ton in 3rd place. But they are both far enough ahead of Billy Van Aert, Tonte van der Gerberg, Brasuari, Guevara, Bartelli, Detweiler. They're all far enough ahead. But Ton has what's happened to Ton? He's now disappeared off the timing screens.
Well, he would possibly doing his long lap penalty, is he?
But no, he's gone right back to 4th. No, he's gone far too far. Something's happened to Philippe Ton. He's dropped right off the timing screens. As we watch the number 34 Mario Aggi, who is in 2nd place, and now Billy Van Aert has been promoted to 3rd, but it's a whole pack of them with Baswari, Van der Koerberg, Bertelli and co. This is now the battle for the final podium position. And poor old Philippe Ton has disappeared. We didn't see the going of him. And again, the old commentators curse. We were just saying what a fabulous job he's doing. And he is now back in 15th place. And in fact, I haven't seen him cross the line. So presumably he's gone off track somewhere. So the number 29 machine of Billy Van Aert. And there is the number 34 machine of Mario Aggi in second place. As I say, it's Billy who now heads that battle for the last podium position, the third place on the number 29.
But got another long lap penalty for Lunetta now.
Yeah. And did we see actually Mario Aggi perform a long lap?
No, because he's still in second position. So he's got a big gap.
He's got a huge gap.
Yeah. But great to see Billy Van Aert as well, the Australian, having a great end to season as well. Just not the season we expected, but really nice to see him in the podium position.
Right, my goodness gracious me. 12 laps down, and the number 38 of David Salvador has the advantage. There's the number 34. And as you say, Luca Lunetta, 58, a long lap penalty. The 34 of Mario Aggi. And here is that battle for the last of the podium position. And at the moment, Billy Van Aert now has got away from that chasing pack.
I'm not sure Aggi has done his long lap penalty.
No. And there's somebody else who's that on the number 7. That's Daniel Munoz going way, way wide. If you're going to run wide and get penalised for it, you might as well make full use of it. 28 there is Matteo Bertelli, the 16-year-old Spaniard, and he crossed the line in 5th place. And that's the 84 there of Zonta van der Koerberg. He's currently in 4th place, chasing Billy Van Aert, who at the moment is 3rd with the last podium position. And Tonner's, we've notified that Tonner's retired, so maybe he had a technical problem and it wasn't an error, and either way it's a tragedy because it was by far his best result and he was riding absolutely brilliantly. Mario Aggi in 2nd place, and the only question, as Neil said, is has he done his long lap penalty? He can afford to do it because he's 13 seconds in front of Billy Van Aert.
Yeah, the long lap penalty normally equates to about 3 seconds you'd lose.
That's right.
I've just been watching his lap times and it looks like they've stayed consistent in the 45, so...
Yeah, and we saw where the long lap penalty is, and it's not an onerous one here. It's actually quite a short long lap, so it wouldn't be any very short long lap. Yeah, it wouldn't be any problem for him. Now, of course, if he still has to do his board, he will be getting another warning. And there was actually somebody leaning over the pit wall waving him to slow down. So if that's his mechanic helper, he's not showing them the long lap board anyway. Well, that's still a mystery for us. We don't know whether he's served it or not. Okay, so Billy Van Aert in 3rd place. Van der Koerberg it is, who is in 4th. And fastest lap to Alex Eskrigg, who is 6th at the moment. And Alex Eskrigg, yeah, the number 11, the 16-year-old Spaniard. He's a 2nd-year rookie. He hasn't had a stellar season so far. He's had sort of a couple of 13th, 14th and a 16th. So this will be his best result as well. At the moment, he's in 6th place on the number 11. There he goes. Just really missing out to the new crop of Spaniards here who've come in and sort of stolen the march over everybody except Pedro Acosta. Right, Billy Van Aert, the Australian, just holding the advantage over Zonta van der Koerberg. David Salvador limits. Well, don't do anything silly, David, because why are you exceeding the track limits? You're leaving the race by 8 seconds. And 34, so Mario Aggi, there's the answer. Neil, he hadn't taken the lap penalty. He now has, but he's come out, of course, still well in front of that chasing pack. So with 2 laps to go,
Yeah, and David Salvador under warning, but still for him, 8 seconds is the lead he had on the last lap. It'd be more now with Aggi doing his long lap, so
yeah,
he does need to be careful. But he's just been incredible walking on water, literally, because no issues led for so many laps, and so many of the riders just getting caught out.
Right, he's got to know that he's got to stay off the green stuff. He's now on his last lap. It's David Salvador. great stuff. We better not say anything about him because we've cursed everybody, haven't we? Oh, mate, keep off the green stuff.
Well, if he did that on this lap, it would be, we dropped a position, wouldn't it? Which would be even worse.
That's right. But if he's deemed to have gained any kind of an advantage, and of course, well, that's, when he's got a 12-second lead, he certainly doesn't need to be doing that, does he? Just keep it together, David, please. Right, okay, so there's the battle for third place, the final rostrum position. And there's David Salvador, our leader, as I say, with a 12-second advantage over Mario Aggi, and then Billy Van Aert on the 29 at the moment in third place, ahead of Sonta van der Gerberg. 28, of course, is Matteo Bertelli, a lovely mix of nationalities now in this battle. And Salvador moved up to fourth place. He's 77 off the lead. So if it goes like this, he can do everything but win the championship because there's 75 points on offer once this race is over. Right, and there is the last lap, and Billy Van Aert, but only just. He's under great pressure now from the guys chasing him, including Sonta van der Gerberg on the 84, who is right on his tail. 38, David Salvador, Mario Aggi. And there he comes, down the start and finish straight here at Valencia for the last time. Great win, a perfect race from David Salvador. Absolutely superb. He's a lovely guy, and it's so great to see him take his first win of the season. He won one race last year, and fantastic to have the 16-year-old Indonesian Mario Aggi take a very well-deserved second place. And the battle's on for third, but it's surely going to be Billy Van Aert. Yes, it's Billy Van Aert who takes the third place just ahead of the Dutchman Sonta van der Gerberg. Alexa Skrieg, the 28 machine of Matteo Bertelli, the Italian. What's that all about? I have no idea what he's doing. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. He's the winner. He's very happy with himself, and so he should be. Well, my goodness, what a race.
Yeah, shorter than normal race, but no less action-packed. It was just incredible. We couldn't really keep up with the incidents and accidents. Fortunately, it looks like everyone's okay, but just incredible.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the only thing we can guarantee in Rookies Cup is there's no guarantees of anything. Well, absolutely. So, interesting, as I said, and presumably the points won't have changed on that last lap. Is now Salvador is up to fourth place and 77 points shy of Pedro Acosta, with 75 points still on offer with the 3 races to go. So Salvador cannot win the Cup, but amongst the top 3 guys, it is very much still to be sorted out.
Very much game on, 3-horse race.
Yeah, and as we know full well now, there are no guarantees. Great. Wheelie from Mario Aggi getting the front wheel of the KTM RC 250. Well, he's thrilled with that, and so he should be. Absolutely fantastic. So sorry for Philippe Ton after he had such a brilliant ride. And congratulations from the marshals. And another big wheelie there from the 29 of Billy Van Aert, the 18-year-old Australian. Of course, he's coming towards the end of his Rookies Cup career. This is his 3rd season, and everybody moves on after 3 years in Rookies Cup. And he has had sort of an unlucky 3rd year, really. He's had a 7th and a 6th, a couple of 7th places actually, but this is his best result so far this year. And of course, he's had injuries as well. And he's bounced back from the injuries, and great to see him on the podium again.
Yes, and losers there, the Ivan Artola, who could really have closed in that championship, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, that's right. He started. He was in 3rd place going into the race after being, having a run of brilliant races. After sort of being a little bit off, not quite on the pace at the first opening rounds, but then really got into his stride and was absolutely superb.
And David Alonso, golden opportunity for him.
And there was no stupidity there, was it? Just the tiniest thing catching. And here's the confirmation then. So Salvador he leaps up 3 places to 4th, but it is now down to Acosta, Alonso, and Ortola to sort it out. And of course, Acosta still has 52 points, so he's going to take a lot of catching. If Alonso and Ortola had finished that race, things would be very, very different indeed. And there's Billy Van Aert.
But one thing for Salvador is he can jump forward in the championship, so they might not be able to win it, but he can still get second or third.
He can indeed. Yeah, it's super to see that what a mix-up it is at the front there. And Mario Aggi, he's in his second year in the Cup. And he really did take a step forward this weekend. He said the confident boost that after a good weekend last weekend, and he certainly has carried that. He hasn't finished in the top 10 so far this year. He's had a really good run of point scorers finishes, 13, 19, 14, 12, 12, 11, 11, 11, and now got that superb second place for the number 34.
I think tomorrow forecast is good. I think we'll have a completely different race. I think it'll be much closer. We're not going to have the little hazards that we had today, so I think we're in for a treat.
Well, the one thing we can say, he isn't going to be able to carry that number 34 with him into MotoGP, is he?
No, it's been retired. Yeah. Certain Texan has taken that home to Austin with him.
Just nailed it up on the wall, I guess. But anyway, he can certainly use the number 34 for a while. And there's Billy Van Aert talking to Dominica.
Wow, what a race, Billy. Congratulations. Tell us about it.
Yeah, thank you. It was a sketchy race because it was wet and dry and we're on slicks, but at the beginning I was struggling a bit with just to get the feel for it. But towards mid-race I started to feel good and felt like I was faster than the guys ahead and just tried. And when I seen P3, because heaps crashed in front, just gave me heaps of motivation to keep going, and yeah, I'm really happy.
Great job, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's a super kid. And, he obviously can go on to great things. And here he is.
Yeah, very talented Aussie, come from the Asia Talent Cup. And he's grown a lot, he's stretched a lot, and I think that's made things tough. He rides a different kind of bike in the Junior World Championship, so he's found the transition tricky, but there's no question about his talent. Still a very young rider with a big future. Yeah,
superb. And a super family there, obviously very much committed to their racing. And I'm sure that Dominica will soon have another interview. Here we are, Mario Aggi.
Mario, well done, great job. Tell us about the race.
I'm very happy. Thank you for. It was a tough race because the condition was tricky. Some part is wet, some part is dry, and many times nearly clash, and also many riders crashes. Even I make a podium also with the track limit in the last 2 laps, but I'm very happy my first podium, second place. Thank you to Red Bull Cup team and my family for full support of me. Thank you.
Good to see you on the podium. Thank you.
And that really will, as he said, he came in with a boost of his confidence, and that will be a fantastic boost too, won't it, going into the last 3 races? Certainly moving the weight around there on the motorcycle, isn't he?
Great use of body position, and just no shortage of skills there. Very confident, great interview, very mature. Yeah, great to see an Indonesian rider up there on the Rookies Cup podium.
And back to Dominica.
David, incredible race. How was it? Tell us everything.
Yes, I am very happy for this race because the condition in the track is very difficult and my pace in this condition is very good. Yesterday the setting in the bike is good and the feeling I am very happy, and this victory is amazing for me. Thank you to all the people support for me and my friends, my family, all the people in the Red Bull Rookies Cup team, the Clinica Mobile, because the last week I have the crash in the last corner here, but today it's amazing and enjoy this race, and thank you to all support for me. And this race dedicated to Bravo's team because I am very important for me and for my family. Thank you.
Fantastic job.
Yeah, and I know that he's hoping to clinch a deal for great things for next year. We'll just see how that unfolds for him. But obviously a very talented young man. Yeah, absolutely perfect victory there. And again, he's going to carry that confidence into the race tomorrow.
Very much so, very happy with his bike and did a great job. I mean, he'd obviously seen the gap on his pit board, but he just kept his head down. He's very consistent, and apart from exceeding track limits a couple of times, pretty faultless race. So yeah, Yeah, nice to be on top of the podium. He's only podium this year so far, but he's got 3 more chances.
Yeah, he has, and he, let me see, he finished fourth in the Cup last year. He's only fourth at the moment, but obviously got his eyes set on improving that over the next 3 races. All 3 races, of course, here in Valencia. And there's a confirmation of the results and a great mix of nations there. Mario Aggi, Billy van Aert, an Indonesian and an Australian, the Dutchman, then a second Spaniard, an Italian, Matteo Bertelli, Daniel Munoz from Spain, Noel Ditler from Switzerland, and Alex Milan from Spain. So really great to see them mix him up. Here's Anguivera, Techcom Baswari, and Luca Lunetta, Daniel Ricardo and Artem Marov, only 14 finishers. So, in fact, it was interesting because I said at one point of the race there was no point in David Alonso patching the motorcycle and going out, but if he'd done so, he would have picked up one championship point because so many more people failed to finish.
Yeah, you just, it's never over till it's over.
Yeah. And here's the confirmation of the championship positions, which they were showing us live, and you can see the movers there. The big mover, of course, David Salvador, and none of those first 3 guys, Acosta, Alonso or Tola, scored, nor did Daniel Munoz, I think, and Daniel Ricardo, David Munoz, Zonta van der Koerberg, obviously he jumped up, as did Billy van Aert. So they've done themselves a pair of good. Mario Aggi leapt 5 places in the points score there. Superb stuff. So it's all to play for. Just I can't wait to find out. I'm so distraught for Philippe Tony. He has had a pretty miserable season so far, and it would have been so wonderful to see him on the podium as well. And Scott Ogden, there he drops a point, having missed out on the chance again of scoring great things in that race. But at least they all appear to be unhurt, and we'll get another chance tomorrow, Neil.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, Scott the Brit having a great one, and he'll take confidence, but no lack of excitement. It was just incredible, and yes, tightened up the championship, which makes it great for the last 3 races.
And if you're a person who believes in the weather forecast, it's all dry and sunshine for tomorrow, so that will bring different changes again. And there we have the 3rd place man, Billy van Aert, taking up his place on the podium. And then Mario Aggi, his first time on a Rookies Cup podium. Of course, Billy has been there before last year. And David Salvador, still limping a little bit, I think, from his very nasty high-side crash in the last corner last weekend. And he takes up the top step of the podium. And the awards for 3rd and 2nd are being given out by Alberto Salido. He's one of the mechanics in charge of spares for the Rookies Cup. These guys who work so hard, doing such a fantastic job of keeping the KTM RC 250Rs going, and they really do a superb job. And the 1st place trophy is given out by the Rookies Cup suspension engineer, Aitor Lafoz. Another guy who works very, very hard, just making these motorcycles work the way these guys do, to give it their very best. And a kiss for the trophy. And that it's Jack Miller there, obviously through.